It's quite nice. The first thing you need to do is hold it up to the light and have a look at the colour, because that tells you about your whisky's maturation. So anything similar to mine that you can see is kind of quite pale yellow, pale gold sort of colours, that suggests your whisky's been matured in an ex-bourbon cask from America. So white American oak gives you this pale gold colour. Or anything slightly darker, orange, even slightly red tones, that suggests your whisky's been matured in an ex-sherry cask from Spain. So red European oak gives you a deeper colour and a slightly spicier flavour as well. And the next step is to have a nose of your dram, so you just stick your nose right in the glass. And this is all totally subjective. It's totally up to you. Apart from all the obvious ones that we've kind of discussed, the sort of fruitiness, the peatiness, you can have, you know, a minefield of other things like smoky bacon crisps or like tennis trainers, or, you know, like people do suggest all sorts of weird things like metallic kind of flavours as well. So it's just really up to your own kind of individual palate. And the next step is to have a look at the body of your whisky. So you just need to kind of swirl it around in the glass. And what we're looking for are the little lines that start to form down the side of the glass. And those are called the legs of the whisky. And as a general rule, if you've got lots of skinny little legs running quite fast down the side of the glass, then that suggests you've got a light-bodied whisky. Whereas if you only see kind of a few kind of thicker, slower, heavier kind of drops forming, then it suggests you've got a fuller-bodied whisky. And really that's all to do with the cask. You know, how long it's spent in the cask soaking up the kind of wood sugar. The longer, the kind of fuller the body of your whisky, basically. It's kind of a bit loud, isn't it? But anyway, the next step is the best bit. That's where you actually get to try your whisky. I can't join you, but I can raise a toast in Scots Gaelic, which means good health. So slán your bar, enjoy your whiskies, you're now free to drink them. And as you are drinking them, the fifth step is called the finish, and that just means kind of how the whisky feels, how it tastes, how the flavour changes, the texture in your mouth, those kinds of things. So it's all those things you notice about how the whisky sort of unfolds as you drink it. So the whiskies you've got then, just so you know what you're drinking, Glenkinchie 12 is the green lowland whisky, so this is the most local distillery to Edinburgh. This one is Tullibardine, this is the yellow Highland whisky. Glengrant, 10-year-old that is, that's the blue Speyside whisky, and Ardbeg 10 as well is the Islay whisky. That's the kind of peatiest of the lot, really. That's as smoky as you're going to get for a kind of standard 10-year-old whisky. And this is the blend, so Bell's, the most popular blend in England. Famous Grouse being the most popular in Scotland. I think that's more to do with kind of marketing than one being better than the other, that kind of thing. So do feel free to have a look around the collection and take photos and that kind of thing. I'll just tell you a little bit about it. It was just started in 1969, 1970 by this man here, Clive Vidas, who's from Brazil. And he, as I said, built up a collection of 3,384 bottles. And then a couple of years ago he sold that collection to Diageo, and they own it now. They're a big drinks company, and they've lent it to us, so that's how we've got it. And do feel free to kind of wander around, come and ask me any questions you've got about the collection or about